Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Elation Professional, live again from the Netherlands for another coffee break. My name is Alistair.
Good morning, my name is Frederik, and we're live here from the Elation Studios in Kerkrade, Central Europe, Netherlands. And today, you can see it's a very, very special day for you because Elation Europe turns 10 years right now this year. So today we would like to celebrate with you. Instead of a coffee, we are having a little champagne here, and cheers to all of you. Cheers to the team we have here in the Netherlands, and it was an exciting time, and we're looking forward to whatever comes next. Thanks to all our partners and everyone who has been with us for the last 10 years, and we're looking forward to the future. Cheers.
So first, so this week we return to automated lighting. We're focusing on a small selection of creative, fun, and feature-packed LED fixtures offering a powerful, eye-catching beam and effects performance. So first up, we're going to look at the Dartz 360. So this is a fast, narrow beam unit, one of our most compact fixtures, and it packs a punch that really must be seen in person to be believed.
And it's the first LED beam using a special RGB prism LED to create a 0 to 2.8 degree beam based on an LED engine.
And after that, we'll check out the Chorus line series. So these are pixel bar wash fixtures with an impressive zoom, 220 degrees of tilt range and vibrant colors.
And those are equipped with either 8 or 16 RGB white LEDs and a motorized zoom.
And then finally today, we'll see the Rayzor 360Z. So it's a lightweight beam effects fixture with continuous pan and tilt rotation and unrivaled zoom range to energize your productions.
And they come across with 3 RGB white LEDs, and they're super fast with an incredible zoom range, which we will take a look on later.
But as usual, let's take a look at the product design and engineering features that all of today's products share. So firstly, pixels. All of these units give you pixel control to get creative in achieving dynamic and eye-catching looks. So maybe, for example, you would use the onboard macros, or possibly a DMX console with a pixel composer or a media engine, such as our own Dylos component that we run here behind us on our Onyx software. Or maybe you'll use a dedicated media server, of course, or potentially maybe you will just actually enjoy programming and creating these looks from scratch, pixel by pixel. So the Chorus lines give you 16 or 8 pixels. The Rayzor gives you 3, and the Dartz is actually a single source, but due to its output, compact size, and its control options, it can easily be pixel mapped and used in matrix arrays for amazing results.
And just imagine you are having a stage or a wall using 5 by 5 or 10 by 10 pieces and design each pixel individually. That gives your show a really unique and creative touch, and the possibilities are really endless to go on with those pixel mapped fixtures.
And next, beams. All of these units offer a capability for interesting aerial effects with a narrow beam angle or a zoom range, offering a bright, hard edge for solid beams, rays, and columns of light, giving your creativity and visual effects a head start with our precisely engineered optics.
Speaking about beams, you might have experienced in the past some issues with safety distance regulations, because on discharge-based beams, you always had to follow certain rules, either if it's 8 meters or 10 meters, or sometimes 12 meters safety distance, because otherwise you would burn a surface with the intense output. Now that we have the possibility to use LED instead and still create a very punchy output, you just don't have to worry about those safety regulations that much anymore, because you just take 1 or 2 meters distance and everything is fine. So you can use them even in the smallest venues where really distance matters.
And size isn't everything. These units offer a powerful, punchy output from fixtures engineered for the smaller form factor. So low weight, low power consumption, and as always, value for money is in mind. So those aspects often involve compromising the output and feature set, but not here. Nothing is going to compromise your creativity with our engineering team packing these units with features.
And when we design fixtures, we always look for efficiency of the LED. And we would like to welcome you to always compare the lumen output and then take a look at the wattage of the LED. Because when you have very good optics and when you have a very good LED, which is very efficient, you just need less power for more output. And especially when we talk about those fixtures They're super efficient, using less wattage, less power consumption, but still a lot of brightness and a great output.
And for control and connectivity, nothing is left out for control, so all of these units have DMX and RDM on board like you would expect, but also ClingNet, ArtNet and streaming SEN protocols are all supported. For connectivity, all the fixtures have a power out or through connector, allowing for multi-power linking. So this is particularly helpful for the chorus line fixtures, for example, if you're using them in a line at the front of a stage or for washing a cyc. So neat, minimal cabling, and of course less distro as well.
And those features really allow you to rig faster, to program faster, and of course save time and therefore a lot of money.
And software, all the usual expected things are on board that we frequently discuss in these streams. So dimming modes, dimming curves, LED refresh rates for film and TV use. But on all these fixtures, we also have various macros, presets, and effects on board. So these all offer quick and creative looks, selectable from your console within seconds. So for example, it could be presets for the colors, it could be patterns for the pixels, it could even be pulsating effects for strobing, or it could even be gobo shake. So all these things are designed to make life a little easier for you.
And really, we have thinking about all the little details to make your life a little bit easier and to save time and money. So the features, if you use them the right way and you're in a hurry, you really create a show within a very, very short time.
So let's make a start with the Dartz 360. So this is actually a very special product for us. It's a single source red, green and blue LED engine that, combined with a very perfect optical path, gets an output that simply defies the compact nature of the unit. And we haven't even mentioned what else is inside just yet. So here it is. As you can see, that compact nature, it's 12 kilograms in weight, and it's not even half a meter in height.
So it really fits everywhere, even if you have a very small club or a very small venue, just hang it anywhere, and you don't need to worry about the safety regulations. Just put it on the floor or wherever. Space is very limited.
And with the 3-degree aperture, a wide front lens, and that bright output, this powerhouse unit already looks striking and intense, even in open white, as you can see. So those features and the compact nature of the unit have made it a popular choice on some major tours over the past few years. The unit tends to be popular, used in pod configurations, and even used in massive light walls. So here are some examples to show you.
So here you see Lady Gaga using 230 pieces on a Vegas residency above the stage on movable pods. Kiss recently used over 200 around their stage to give a massive and impressive feeling. And around about 500 pieces were used on Paul McCartney's Freshen Up tour to give the entire stage an amazing look. So you see, those fixtures really are capable of a great design, pixel mapped, wherever you use them, above, behind, or surrounding a stage. They just look amazing.
So thanks to the special LED engine and the optics, it has an output that rivals other beam units that use discharge lamps. But of course, because this is LED, it doesn't require the safe minimum safe projection distance as with typical discharge fixtures. And of course, that's not to mention it has less heat, less power, and no expensive lamps to change.
And we have designed a very, very special LED module for the Dartz 360. This LED module is very small and compact. You have 3 LEDs, a green, a blue and a red LED shooting from 3 different positions on a prism, and that prism mixes the light inside this LED module, and then you have a front lens which really bundles the light again one more time and really brings out all the brightness to one point, and therefore this is very, very special, and the optics make it so efficient that you create such an intense beam from this very, very unique LED engine.
So let's make a start and have a look at the colors. So you can see a very vibrant red, green and blue, of course, but it remains punchy even as we look at some nice mixed colors. So it has quite a nice yellow. This magenta is rather nice, and we really like this orange amber sort of color as well. But color mixing always remains smooth and seamless, but also very fast.
And you can see the primary colors, red, green and blue, are very, very intense because they come from a single colored LED, so there's no dichroic filter to mix the colors. Those colors are really coming from the LED source itself. And even if they mix, like I just mentioned before, we have this prism which makes the colors very, very smooth and very, very homogeneous.
So the unit also has a gobo wheel with 14 gobos inside. So we're going to flick behind us and have a look at that. So it starts with these 4 beam reducer style gobos to get these even narrower but dynamic beams. And the other gobos offer various patterns, bars, dots, stars, etc. to give you a great aerial performance.
And of course you can see that you can really go down to almost 0-degree beam without any spread light. So the optics are extremely precise in that fixture, and you can focus even the gobos on any kind of projection, so there's no spread light around it, which really makes a perfect projection even on a surface or on aerial effects.
And next, we found room inside to put 2 prisms. So the first is this 8-facet circular, and let's just add in a gobo to see how that looks. And then secondly, we have a 6-facet linear prism, and again, let's add in a gobo to see that come alive. And finally, you can, of course, use both prisms together overlaid to create some really great aerial effects. So here's one example, and followed by another.
And having all those possibilities on board, the unit really allows you as a designer or as a programmer to set creative effects which are very unique, and you can give your show a very, very special and personal touch. And just imagine you look into this nice projection, how beautiful it looks when the gobos are morphing or the prisms are morphing. It just looks awesome.
And we also added this variable frost as well to give you the option of some wash effects. But for movement, the small form factor was engineered to be fast, but while still offering accurate positioning and quiet, precise movement. So it is continuous 360-degree pan and tilt 2, so you can easily create some fast, eye-catching stage performances.
And just imagine you have a couple of those on stage, those dazzling effects which really make you kind of go dizzy because they just are so fast. Just imagine you have a couple of those on stage in the front truss or a matrix about it. This is just a nice effect for really creative and unique effects which your audience will surely remember.
And in addition to the control aspects we mentioned earlier, the Dartz also adds our eFly wireless DMX built in and ready to use. And finally, a USB port is also in the fixture for quick and easy software updates.
So that saves a lot of time for you, because wherever you are on a job and you need a software update or you need to set up those units, connect them with DMX, the features again make sure that everything works very, very fast and saves you time by the end of the day.
So next up, we're going to look at the Chorus Line series. So we have 2 units. We have an 8 or a 16 pixel units. These are bar wash effects fixtures with specially selected and optimized 40-watt Osram LEDs. So those old static strip battens that have been modernized to become more adaptable and maneuverable as visual effects units, washes, sight lights, and footlights.
And of course, let's say you have them in your rental inventory, you can really use them for all kind of shows, even if it's a presentation or a TV studio or a stage, concert, festival, whatever it is. Those units are very flexible and versatile due to the fact that you can change the zoom range and make them from a beam fixture to become a sight fixture, and so on and so on.
So both units offer you red, green, blue, and white for colors, but they also offer 2,700 Kelvin to 7,000 Kelvin of color temperature control. So this can be incrementally selected from your console in seconds to give you just the right white that you would need for TV use, for example.
And of course, flicker-free as well. You just change the LED frequency from a wide range, and then you make sure they do not have any flicker on camera. So that's also another great advantage of this fixture.
So let's make a start and have a look at these colors. So the red, green, and blue really offer some nice primary saturated colors. But of course, being a pixel fixture, it really must be good on all colors. So let's see those colors too. So get a nice yellow, get a pretty good magenta, and finally a cyan.
Yeah, and you see those colors are perfectly mixed because, of course, we have some special optics here as well. And They have the RGB LED, and in front of it there's a little light tube which mixes the color before the front lens. So that means there are no colored shadows and just a very homogeneous and perfect color mixing when you see the beam.
But you really start seeing the potential of the fixtures once you get to the zoom. So it's 4 to 40 degrees. So at the minimum, you can see here, you really see the individual beams of the 8 or the 6 pixels working great as an aerial effect. And when we go up to the 40 degrees, you really gain this bright, even wall or stage wash fixture. And of course, strobing looks really good on it too. So we'll start slow, make it a little faster. We love this. And then finally, we'll just apply some randomization to see how that looks. And of course, the 220 degrees of smooth and accurate tilt movement adds another dimension, of course. And combined with the zoom we've seen, and you get some incredible slow or fast sweeping looks. And of course, you can throw in that pulsating strobing or color chases, and the full potential of the fixture is really unleashed.
And of course, we are talking about pixel fixtures. So you can just start from 1 pixel, add a few more pixels, and build up intensity, chases, and patterns. And adding those colors as you wish to really make the unit stand out, let your creativity take over. And of course, if you change now from a very, very narrow beam to a wide wash, those effects look completely different, and that shows the versatility of the product one more time.
And as we mentioned earlier, onboard macros really come into play here with the Chorus line units. So offering pixel patterns and chases and preset colors to easily allow stunning looks to be created within seconds. So here's just a few examples of that. And we can add in a couple of colors as an example.
And that makes your whole stage look like it's shaking a little bit and moving a little bit, and it just looks awesome if you have a couple dozen of them on a stage. That gives really, really nice aerial effects.
So these units can sit on the floor, like you can see, end to end for dramatic curtains of light, or they can easily hang in any orientation to be a versatile addition to your stage design, club, or installation.
And even when you tilt them very fast, you don't have to worry. The base is made for this, so you just put them on the floor and you just don't need to fix them or attach them to anything. They will just stand like this even if you tilt them very fast.
So here are some example photos we have of the units in use. So you can really see them on these stage designs, them both in the air, and of course here you can see them at the front of the stage, behind the drum riser, and again a different shot even right at the top of the picture. So next up, finally today, we are going to have a look at the Rayzor 360Z. So we mentioned at the beginning that the Dartz was one of our most compact fixtures, but the Rayzor may actually be the most compact fixture we do. So it's 8 kilograms and it's barely 42 centimeters high. So one person can easily pick it up with one hand and rig it on one clamp.
Well, if you are in a hurry, just take 2 of them, one in each hand, and click them or hang them with your clamp to the truss. Then you tighten the screws, and this is it. So it also saves you a lot of time if you just take 2 of them.
So it's a beam wash effect fixture with an unrivaled zoom range, 360-degree continuous pan and tilt, and with that small form factor can easily be integrated into matrix arrays, set pieces, or sit discreetly on stage. So here's a few more example photos of the unit in use.
What you see here is the latest Chaka Ponk, a very, very famous French band, and Chaka Ponk was on tour with those more than 150 Rayzor 360, which gave an incredible look when they were in those pots.
And this is just some extra footage from our own demo room showing the units trying to be creative for us. And like the Chorus lines that we've seen before, the Rayzor offers specially selected red, green, blue, and white Osram LEDs. But this time it's 360-watt sources, allowing this unit to cut through haze and stand out amongst the brightest of stages. And has similar onboard chases, pixel patterns, and color presets to the Chorus line series as well, allowing you to create looks within seconds. So let's look a little closer at the Rayzor. So firstly, the zoom. At its narrowest, it is 8 degrees, so creating this rather nice-looking dynamic beam. And at the widest, it is 77 degrees, so it can be a fast, punchy wash.
So this extreme zoom range really covers the biggest stages, but also the smallest stages, and it's pretty versatile having such a wide zoom range to really use just a few of them, and everything is bright and looks nice.
So the colors are like what we've already seen today. Nice, vibrant, saturated primary colors, as you can see. But it also has a really nice, rich CMY as well mix. And of course, we have color temperature correction on board too. So it goes from 2,700 up to 8,000 Kelvin, delivering the white you want for film and TV use.
And of course, here we have again those special optical system, the RGB white LED. Then comes the little light tube, which mixes the colors before the front lens, and then you don't have any colored shadows anymore, and just a very nice homogeneous projection.
Okay, so let's have a look at its pixel capability. So even with a single pixel, you can see it still packs a punch, but with all 3 pixels together and colors or intensity chases with white, the unit really starts to come alive.
And for me, it really looks, it's sort of alive, because if you see those 3 LEDs, they always remind me a little bit on a face. So if you just have those 2 eyes and the mouth down there, you can be very creative, and maybe you even see what I see when I look at the fixture, a really nice face, which is even smiling a little bit.
And like with the Dartz we've seen earlier, the small form factor was engineered to be fast, so it is continuous 360-degree pan and tilt movement. So combined with the massive zoom range and the colors, you can already start imagining the possibilities. So for control and connectivity, it follows the same pattern as the other fixtures today, but also for all these fixtures, we give you an internal battery for the display. So this allows you to change settings or address the units while it's still in your warehouse or in a flight case during prep. So with no mains connected, you can actually address your fixtures. And I think that is almost it for today. I'm not seeing any questions coming in at the moment, so these are really a few creative, easy-to-use, reliable fixtures that can add dazzle, drama, and excitement to stages and events big and small. So I thank you very much for joining us today. We're going to probably see you again in 2 weeks for another stream, so it's a goodbye from me.
Thank you, Alistair, and thanks for joining us today for a very special coffee break. And I would like to bring up a toast again to all of our partners, customers, friends, and the Elation family. And enjoy the coming time with us. Thanks for the last 10 years, which have been very exciting, and we're looking forward to see you all soon again. Latest, it will be for the next coffee break, and enjoy your day, stay safe, and cheers. Goodbye.
Cheers.